Content warning. This episode of All Too Real 2 includes discussion not only of the 1996 film First Kid, but also touches on real-world allegations involving sexual assault and domestic violence connected to some of the individuals involved in this film. These topics may be distressing or triggering for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised, and we encourage you to skip this episode if you feel it may negatively impact your well-being. Thanks for listening. You're tuned into All Too Real 2. Be sure to subscribe, download, share the show with a friend, and stop by all2real2.com for our social links, Patreon, and TeePublic store info.
Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
Sesame, he sleepwalked the dog in Carta.
It's a nice short one.
Thanks.
I like that name. It's a good short one.
Is it good? It's a short, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good short one. So how you feeling about the world, man?
You know, the way I'm feeling about the world is as if like, so an analogy would be me being overworked and underappreciated and just like watching some bratty teenager take really too long to eat breakfast on purpose just to piss me off and make us late to an appointment. That's kind of how I feel about the world right now.
It's an interesting, metaphor or analogy or whatever that was.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's a direct plot point to the movie we're going to review, but yeah.
Oh, we're reviewing a movie?
Yeah. You know that?
When did we start doing that?
About 8 years ago. Really, it's been that fucking long.
I thought this was a podcast about crocheting.
No. 8% of a century. So,
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
All these years, I thought we were just talking about crocheting.
No, I don't think we once talked about crocheting, actually. But I don't know.
No, I don't even know how to crochet.
I don't know either. I've seen other people do it. I know some people.
Mom used to do it a lot. Used to watch her do it. Could never figure out how she did it. It was amazing. It's amazing. She would just sit there, and then all of a sudden, there's a sweater or a blanket or something. Yeah.
I don't have patience to do little things like that.
I don't have patience either. That's probably because I'm not a doctor.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're not. Well, yes, that's true. Like we don't. Well, for one thing, we don't have the doctor robes yet, so we can't. We don't have the scarf.
Something people have forgotten by the time this episode comes out.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Because there'll be like another million stories since then. But yeah.
There'll be so many other things crazy about the world that are blasphemous in other ways.
Yep.
Speaking of things that are crazy with the world, Disney made a movie called First Kid.
Yeah.
In 1996 that featured 3 alleged pedophiles.
Yep.
Future alleged pedophiles, I guess.
And then we did Blank Check right before this, which I'm not sure if it will get aired before this one, but that had a scene. I swear to God, to our listeners, we did not pick this as a theme. This just happens.
Yes. I honestly picked First Kid because I was like, oh, I remember this movie. I remember kind of liking it. And then I looked into the people involved in it, and I'm like, oh, I like Sinbad. I like Robert Guillaume. I like, other people that are in this movie that are fine. We also have somebody that has been convicted of domestic violence is in the movie too. So yeah, the fourth person.
Just regular bad stuff, okay, guys? It's like, it's just regular violence. Just don't worry. It's not like the really bad
The other
stuff.
people are just alleged because nobody's been convicted.
True.
This guy actually has been.
Right, the dude from Home Improvement, whatever his name is.
Zachary Ty Bryan. Yeah.
I never liked him. I always thought he just acted like a prick. I don't know. Like
you reminded me of like a bully I had in grade school. So
he just has that. Even like when he was in Home Improvement, he was a little bit better because he wasn't supposed to act that way. But I don't know. He just had that look about him, especially in this movie. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so like 4 people, it's really bad.
Yeah, he's currently in jail. So yeah.
He looks pretty rough too. So
related to prior things that he's done, where he DUIs, assault.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Felony strangulation and misdemeanor charges.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Also,
so
menacing and 4th degree assault. So yeah,
I think it's interesting that it gives a whole new meaning to the phrase "first kid." Now that we know about the
also, this is just Zachary Ty Bryan, by the way, here. So also in 2023, Superior Court of Los Angeles ordered Bryan and his production company Lost Lane to pay $108,940.57 to an investor after finding him guilty of scamming money for a film that was supposed to feature Thomas Jane, Patrick Schwarzenegger, and Alice Pettifree. Yeah.
Okay.
Pettifree. Yeah. So yeah. Okay.
Wow.
So scamming on top of it. So yeah.
Wow. That's wild, man.
And that's just Zachary Ty Bryan.
Let alone all the other 3 people that are,
Yeah. We'll get into them shortly.
We'll get into that.
Let's talk about what we're covering here first.
Sure.
So this is a 1996 Disney film called First Kid. It's about a former boxer turned Secret Service agent who is assigned to protect the president's son, who seems determined to make life difficult for his new protector. That is according to the Internet Movie Database.
Mm-hmm.
The film was directed by David Mickey Evans, who we've covered films of his in the past. The Sandlot 2.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also directed the original Sandlot. He directed Beethoven's Fourth, which I think we covered. Beethoven's Third. He directed that as well. We covered both. We covered one of those.
Yeah.
He directed Radio Flyer. That was good. He also directed Ace Ventura: Pet Detective Jr.
Oh my God.
And the last full feature movie he directed in 2012 was called Smitty.
Okay.
Which looks like a dog movie featuring Mira Sorvino, Peter Fonda, and Louis Gossett Jr.
So we have baseball and dog movies are a big theme here. Okay.
Also features my Facebook friend Jason London. But anyways, I'm friends with both him and his twin brother.
All right.
Jeremy London. Both of them are actors. So yeah, David Mickey Evans returns. We've got the movie was written by Tim Kelleher, who was a writer on 2.5 Men, Off Center, Living with Fran, Be Positive, In Living Color, The Arsenio Hall Show, Empty Nest, The Pat Sajak Show, and the TV movie The Garbage Picking, Field Goal Kicking Philadelphia Phenomenon, which is another Disney movie starring Tony Danza.
Tony Danza, yeah.
Yep. Maybe we'll cover that in the future.
Yeah, sure.
The movie stars Sinbad as Sam Sims, billionaire Brock Pierce as Luke Davenport, billionaire crypto bro.
He wasn't a billionaire then, but
he was like 14 then, but now he's
like 45, something like that. Yeah.
Blake Boyd as Dash, currently being held for trial purposes. Timothy Busfield as Woods. Art Lafleur as Morton. Robert Guillaume as Wilkes. Lisa Eichhorn as Linda Davenport. James Naughton as President Davenport. Fawn Reed as Susan Lawrence. Zachary Ty Bryan as Rob. Bill Cobbs as Speet. And there's others. Erin Willoughby as Kate Warren. That's another important character. The rest I don't think we need to mention. Okay, so no offense to you people. There's no small parts. Just small characters. Yeah. So initial feelings about this movie after viewing it.
I think it holds up a little bit. I mean, I don't see myself like watching this like on a regular basis or anything like that, but I might watch it here and there, like on occasion. I remember my mom actually took me and my friend Dan, who used to live down the street when I was a kid, to go see it. And that was, it was really, I don't know, we liked that thing. Because there's another movie we watched before that, the year before, called House Guest with Phil Hartman.
I love that.
Like, we were really into Sinbad. We called ourselves sinners back then, or baddies. That was like our, the super fans of Sinbad. Sinners was our regional. Sinners, batters, baddies. Which is kind of ironic because Sinbad's father was a pastor, but we call ourselves sinners because we're a big fan of Sinbad. I don't know. I'm not sure if you've heard of that or not, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Check out. If any of our listeners who are like not our age, maybe a little bit younger than us, if you can, check out the HBO special called Brain Damage by Sinbad. If you can find it online. It's so funny. I mean, I saw some YouTube. The quality is really, really horrible, but the audio might be good. I
wonder if it's on HBO or something.
I don't know. It's good on HBO Max, maybe. I didn't think about that. But I mean, if you guys want to like get privy to Sinbad, because like, he was like a pretty big deal back like in the late 80s, early 90s, like or mid 90s. Like
Sinbad is a comedy legend, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
A lot of people gave him, crap from time to time because, but he
didn't cuss and say filthy jokes, basically. Yeah.
I mean, he was like, he was on A Different World, he was probably one of the best parts of that show.
Yep.
Sadly, a show that was produced by another.
Oh God. What? Really?
Well, A Different World was co-created by and produced by Bill Cosby.
Oh, okay. Because
Bill Cosby
kind of like a spin-off.
Helped he kind of helped. Yeah, it was a spin-off because the original first season, Denise Huxtable went to Hillman College where it takes place. Yeah, I used to love that show though. I like The Different World better than Cosby Show. So
yeah, me too. I like it
back.
Yeah,
The Different World is coming back on a reboot of it on Netflix soon.
All right.
Yeah,
and
he was good on that.
Yeah, and Sinbad, he was sick for a while, but I guess he's getting better, maybe, or something like that.
I'm not sure. I was just going to look into that.
I saw something where it seemed like he was doing, as of 2025 at least, he was doing a stand-up show, it looks like. Let me look. Well, we don't have to get into it. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. I was just kind of...
As far as things go, the only bad thing I can find about Sinbad is that he had tax issues.
Cares. I mean,
that's all. Chapter 7 bankruptcy because he owed $2.5 million in personal income tax. That's not a big deal, in my opinion.
It's one of those things.
Comparatively to the other stuff that people associated with the movie did. Yeah.
And also to other people who cheat on their taxes much worse, like all the big corporations, and they get, and not only do they not get punished, they actually get rewards for doing so. So, anyway, like Sinbad, batter, like I was a batter, like, or sinner or a batter, whatever you want to call it, back in the late
Sin batter.
A Sin batter. I kind of like that because you're batting for Sinbad. Like I'm going up to bat for him. You know what I mean? Like
I'm a Sin batter. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm a Sin batter. I like that. All right. Because I'm batting sins away like a baseball bat. Like, get out of here, drugs and
or the real fans just say I'm a fan of David Adkins.
That too.
Because that's his real name.
Oh, yeah. Of course, his name's not Sinbad. Why did I think that? Why did I think his actual name was Sinbad? Whatever.
He supposedly was just a fan of Sinbad, the
show, right? Or the stories.
The sailor, the what is it like? What is it?
He was an Arab,
the Arab story. He was a fan of the story. Yeah, I was pretty sure I had the right part of the world because I thought it was an Arab story.
Yeah. He's like
a stupid Sinbad movie animated movie. They moved him to be like Greek or something.
Yeah. Well, he may have, who knows? But yeah, like it's interesting. Yeah. So he liked that. A lot of people liked that back in the day, his era. He was a sailor. That's not the right word, but he was like whatever. He sailed on ships. I thought the right word for what he was, but anyway, I liked it. It's
a combo Sinbad and Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm joking.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to the movie.
I laughed like a girl for a second ago. Like
that's fine.
Yeah, that's all good.
Gender is fluid, man. Anyway, so
don't say that, man. The people right-wing get mad at you now. Who cares?
The right-wing people are going to be mad at me when I talk about certain things soon.
I know.
So yeah, I remember watching this movie like when it came out, I think on video or something. I was, like in my late teens when it came out. So it wasn't really my demographic, but I did enjoy it because I like Sinbad.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched it and I thought it was passable as a movie. Yeah. It's nothing offensive in it, except for the people. But
yes.
So yeah, and in all honesty, I picked this movie without realizing all the fucked up shit associated.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's not some weird theme we came up with Disney movies with really problematic people and themes. Because like with Blank Check, I don't think there was any bad people, but
no, not that person. I mean, Brian Bonsall did get in trouble for domestic violence, but that's
okay. Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, so yeah, how do you want to do this? Do you want to talk about the movie, or do you want to talk about some trivia and stuff about the movie?
We could do a little bit of both, I think. We don't have to do like a beat by beat, plot or whatever.
So as far as the trivia goes here, Brock Pierce, who plays the president's son, was on the ballot for the presidential election in 2020.
Nice.
Yeah. Bill Clinton's cameo appearance is the only time a sitting U.S. president has portrayed himself in a feature film.
Nice.
Other presidents have been in movies, but like before they were president or after, such as Donald Trump in Home Alone 2. Anyway, so
and he did play himself, but he wasn't the president in that movie.
He did play himself, but yeah. So when the British Board of Film rated the film for video release, they cut 1 minute and 31 seconds. They felt the hostage attack in the shopping mall was too intense for a PG certificate.
Yeah.
Let's see what else there is. Will Smith was the original choice for Sims. I mean, he was pretty hot at that time too, like for Fresh Prince. So it makes sense. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay. This is the second film in which Timothy Busfield and Brock Pierce appeared together in after Little Big League.
Oh, he was in that movie too? Both of them were?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I knew that the guy was, but I didn't know that the kid was.
Yeah, Brock Pierce, prior to this, he was in the first two Mighty Ducks movies playing the younger version of Emilio Estevez's Gordon Bombay character.
Okay.
In like flashbacks.
All right.
Yeah. This was Sonny Bono's final on-screen appearance. Another bastard. But anyways, sorry.
Wow.
He supposedly both sexually and physically assaulted Cher when they were married. So just not to mention he was a Republican congressman who helped pass the Mickey Mouse Sonny Bono bill that made copyright law last longer for characters. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's officially called the Mickey Mouse Sonny Bono Law because he wrote it.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my God.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much other trivia about the movie itself. But do you want to get into the nitty gritty about the people in this movie?
Sure. I mean, like,
We're not too deep.
well, right. Which is interesting though, because since we're talking about characters and stuff, so the what's the kid's name in the movie? Like, what's the character's name? Like, that's not Brock, but
The character's name is Luke Davenport.
so like, yeah. So Luke is like a bratty teenager because his parents don't pay attention to him because they're busy leading the free world or whatever. And so he doesn't get that because he's just a kid. So he's like always just messing around with the guy who's like his guard, and he's not having it. If anything, this movie can almost have like a really dark interpretation. This movie could also be interpreted as a working class man who was beset, not really working class, but a hardworking man who was beset with guarding the president's son and is constantly being gaslit and berated for doing his job. And then whenever the kid actually does something to get in trouble, he basically blames it on the guy, and then the mom just believes her kid because her son's the beautiful prince who never does anything wrong. Let's turn your caretaker into the whipping boy and just give him a few lashes there, And so he couldn't do it anymore. And so he shows the tiniest, little teensiest bit of physical discipline after he was being a complete asshole to his mom. And so he was actually, if you look at it, he was actually defending the woman's honor by forcing the kid. But in response to her honor being defended, she fires the guy. So he's like, okay, I can't do any right, apparently. I get blamed for stuff that I didn't do constantly. And then the one time I show a little bit of physical discipline, we're talking like, I remember, I thought he did something really horrible because I remember how he got fired. I thought maybe he pushed him, maybe he slapped him across the face. That's when I watched it. I'm like, oh, he literally just grabbed him by his scruff of the neck. I was like imagining horrible things that he may have done.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Like
it's still child abuse.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I guess, but like, it's like, I don't know. It's just like, but the thing is, it's like, okay, so then he gets fired immediately from that. He doesn't even get a reprimand. Yeah. He doesn't get a first strike, second strike. Apparently, we don't do baseball in here. There's no strikes, and so he's like, that's it.
Because two of the people were in Little Big League.
Yeah, exactly. So you're talking baseball in that movie, then 1 year later, and then or 2 years later, and so, or maybe 3 years later, and so. Okay, so what am I getting at here? So, but then he takes it way too far. So we find out over time, that Luke is talking to a friend that he met online from some weird website called like Snake Chat or some bullshit. I don't even know if that's even a real thing. Like a really old online messaging. Like I guess they couldn't do the right AOL, so they had to come up with something else.
You don't know about Snake Chat?
No, I don't. I never heard of Snake Chat. Even at the time, I didn't hear it.
See, back in the day, all of us snakeheads used to go on to Snake Chat and talk about our snakes. We would just, message random people and not even ask their age or anything, really. And
talk about snakes,
just talk about snakes back in 1996. That's what we used to do.
Makes sense. Yeah, she didn't have a pet snake, though, so I wonder if that's why he was on the Snake Chat.
That's what it was. It was for, I assumed it was for people that.
That's what it was. But then he's talking to a random person.
Yeah.
Who they never talked about snakes once in their conversation.
I mean, to be fair, like AOL back then in the early ages, I would just talk to random people and it was creepy. I mean, I remember one time I literally, when I was an adult, but some creepy guy on there started asking me my age and was like, because I was like, 19 or 18 or 19, and he was just like, "Oh, you're a little too old for me."
But oh my god, yeah.
And I was
I
was like, "Okay, you're gone. Bye bye."
Yeah, no, I remember exactly because I used to sometimes when I was like 15, 14, would like try to sneak into like an adult chat just for like a few minutes or whatever. and I had my age on my profile because I was a fucking idiot. I didn't realize I shouldn't do that. And like, I mean, I'll get swarmed with messages from like older people. I had no idea what that meant at the time. I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I'm like as soon as I got in there, it was like, bam, 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 bam. Like, like 5 people all at once. I'm like, Jesus, like, and
there was the whole ASL.
Yeah. ASL, age, sex, location. Yeah. I remember that. Internet was really weird back then, still is, but
I thought they were all asking me if I spoke American Sign Language. I didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah, they're like, I know I'm not learning, but yeah. And so he's talking to this quote friend of his, and he keeps trying to, hey, we should meet up sometime at the mall or whatever. And he's like, I don't know if I can. I can't really get out or whatever. And he's like, my dad works in the government. I'm like, oh my God, like you're going to sit there and tell the person that your dad's the president or some shit. And then Sims is like, you better not tell anyone. Like, I know, I'm not telling anyone about whatever. And so he starts giving the same shit to Sims that he did to the other dude. But like Sims handles it better. Like he still gets pissed off, but like he doesn't like, his version of being pissed off isn't like anger in the sense of like the other dude is. Like that other guy had like an anger problem, like for real. Like, and like with Sims, it was more of just him being kind of like pissed off a little bit. Like, and so I think that like that's what made Luke kind of open up a little bit more to him, because he wasn't taking it in like a more like ridiculous way, and it kind of made him like
he was kind of trying to be the kid's friend.
That's what it was. And so that kind of helped him. And it's kind of one of those movies too, where, the kid opens up and they become friends, blah, blah, blah. Also, not to be mean, but it did have a little bit of like the magic black person kind of thing to it too. Like, I mean, like not like to an extreme degree, but like, like the black caretaker of the white kid type of thing, but not like in a super like overt,
not in a Tiger Vance sort of way.
Nothing like that, but a little bit. But that's it was the 90s, whatever. And I always like Sinbad's quick-witted humor. Yeah, I always like where he'll like diffuse a situation immediately by like just talking a whole bunch. Like he does this a lot, like in House Guest too, and stuff like that. Not House Guest Part 2, but I mean like in addition to the movie House Guest, where he'll just like spin a story, right up top of his head. He was always really good at doing that. Like, so he's like, one of the first scenes in the movie actually is they're like doing like a sweep or like a bomb, in the mall or whatever. And he goes up to like a donut shop and is like saying that like there might be a bomb in the donuts or something like that. And so he's like, no, why don't you pick up that one right there? No, not that one, the one below, and stuff like that.
Yes, there might be some. Some explosives in the sprinkles there. So you're gonna.
Sprinkles. Yeah, exactly. And then like some other woman shows up with like a cup of coffee, and she's like walking really, really slowly. And then like his boss shows up though, and he's like, ruins the day for him. Like, no donuts, blah blah blah. And you joke around.
I know the Secret Service are intimidating, but these people are the stupidest people in the world working at this mall.
I know, exactly. I mean, this is back in the day, maybe. I don't know. I just saw your picture, by the way, of the doctors at the hospital with the robes. Good. I like that. I like that.
But like, I've encountered the Secret Service before. Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they had to put dogs and everything and search all of my film equipment when I went to film President Obama when he was running for re-election. So, yeah. I filmed
what were they thinking? Would they think like the equipment would be like weapons or something like that?
You have to make sure, they did it not just to me. It was like every press person that was coming in there. This is when I used to work for Star 105, a local radio station that has a different name now. But it was interesting being about 30 feet away from Obama. But in the Stroh Center at Bowling Green State University, which I went to the other night to see Rainn Wilson speak. That was really cool. But yeah, anyways, back to the movie.
Yeah.
The thing I've noticed from a lot of these kids movies that we cover, the parents are always like so neglectful to the kids.
I know, it's crazy, man.
Like they never have any kind of relationship with their kids really or care. It's really weird. I mean, like the one like Blank Check or before we had covered Magic in the Mirror and stuff. Like it's all these movies that we've covered recently that are kids movies that seem to just ignore the parents, just like ignore the fact that their kids exist almost.
It's a very 90s theme. I wonder if something like that was going on in the culture of the 90s. I don't remember too much about.
It's a good plot device. You know?
It is. It was like very like common in the 90s.
I mean, in the Disney animated movies, you just kill off one of the parents and make it, you know,
right, make it super tragic.
Usually the mother, but
right, yeah.
So yeah, and so he basically, you know, he starts becoming friends with him, and he has to go to school with him, and at the school he lets him get beat up by a kid.
Hey, he wanted personal space. He got it, you know.
Yeah, and so he gets beat up by Zachary Ty Bryan's character, and foreshadowing his real violence later on in life. Yes. Sorry, it's not funny, but no, it's not. There's a lot of foreshadowing in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, he becomes. Oh my.
Sorry, I know it's not funny, but
later in life he becomes like a wife beater.
Right. Now he's just like a peer beater, you know.
Yeah, and then you know, Timothy Busfield's character is
also allegedly,
he's luring a kid online to the mall to basically kidnap him, who allegedly in real life has done some not so cool things to kids.
Allegedly.
Do you want to get into him really quick?
A little bit, because like you said, though, that was the person that Luke was talking to online, by the way, guys.
So
he was talking to him, and I don't know how he even. That's the other thing. They never explained how did he know that was Luke's screen name in the first place. Like that was like they didn't explain how that would even be.
Maybe he just looked at the computer and figured it out, or maybe he's like good with computers. I don't know.
Maybe that's it too. Yeah, it's right, because that one scene he's actually in his car, like typing away. Maybe he's got some weird thing where he could
just like right outside of the White House.
You can't do that anymore. Back in the day, you could walk up to the actual fence to the White House.
I think you might even still be able to, but it's
really?
Yeah, it's still got guards and stuff. But because I've seen people with pictures in front of the White House, like even recently. So yeah.
But, I went to DC when I was a kid. I was like around 13, around the same age of Luke here.
I've never been to DC. I've always wanted to go, but I don't want to go now. But
no. It was like just a standard, like, you know, like it was for school. We didn't really get to do like a whole lot. We just saw like the government shit. Like we got to stand outside the White House. One of our classmates almost got us in trouble because he screamed really loud about loving Chelsea Clinton. I'm like, oh boy, we can't do that now. I'm like, God damn it, dude. And we did go to the Lincoln, like the place where Lincoln actually had died, I think, like his hospital bed or whatever it was.
Oh.
Kind of fucking weird. It's like, why are we doing this? Maybe it was just his bed. I'm pretty sure it was the bed that he was like resting on, like when they were.
They probably have like a tour where you can see, because like he after he was shot, he got taken to a different building. Right. Somebody's like house or something. I remember.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. Excuse me. And so it was all right. I mean, you know, it was okay. It wasn't it wasn't that great of a trip because for one thing, my grandmother had just died, and my parents were like, you know, just take the trip, like, you know, like you can go, you know, to the wake or whatever. You don't have to go to the actual funeral. Just, you know, you already planned this and stuff, and it's, you know, it's okay. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll go then. And then I don't want to be disrespectful, but they're like, you might as well go. It's okay. So, all right. But then because of that, you know, we were all kind of forgetful and stuff. So I forgot to pack enough clothes to wear. So I had to wear like the same clothes for like 2 days straight, and then wear another pair for like the other day. So like it was just kind of all around a great trip. And the plane ride was fine on the way back, but the ride home, my ears were all hurting so badly because of the pressure or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure what was different about going there than coming back, but
The thing to do is to chew gum when you're on a plane.
I've heard about that, but I didn't have any gum, and I've never been like really like a gum person. I'm not a gummer or a gummy.
I'm not either, but it did help when I because I've flown to several different places, so yeah. I
wonder if you can even do that anymore on planes or not. Like you can be afraid. They will.
Yeah.
That was my one and only time going on a plane ride, by the way. From the Detroit airport to DC and then DC back to Detroit.
Yeah, I've flown to several different places, but like across the country.
I didn't like that plane trip too much. I mean, if I have to fly somewhere to go somewhere, I guess I'll do it, but I'd rather drive or train or drive if that's a possibility. Even if it takes longer, I would do that. Then again, I'm sorry, guys, I'm just rambling. Our train system sucks in America, though, so I'm not sure even about that. Like China, which apparently is the worst country in the world, according to one of my anarchist, I guess, socialist friends on Facebook, who apparently hates a socialist country more than he hates America. But that's a whole other weird. Okay, I don't know how you square that one away too much, but okay. But China's got really good high-speed rail,
bullet trains and
bullet trains. Japan's also got a bullet train. A lot of these countries do, and America's no, we're just going to keep using the same design from the 1800s. Sorry, guys, fuck you. Car culture rules. If you don't have a car and or a license,
well, it's the oil industry's grip on our society. But anyways, back to the movie.
Sorry, going
back to the actors in the movie, I should say. So Timothy Busfield, who I was Facebook friends with, by the way. I'm just going to admit that fully.
You didn't have to say that, but
I don't know if I am anymore. I'm pretty sure I unfriended him.
Okay.
Because I unfriended somebody else that I found out about when I was doing research for different people in this. Yesterday. That's associated with stuff. So anyways, so in 1994, he had a sexual assault allegation. 17 or 16-year-old. It's kind of confusing in this here. Female extra accused him of sexual assault during the filming of Little Big League.
This goes back a long time then.
1993, yeah. She was 16 at the time. She was 17 when she filed everything. That's why it was confusing.
Wow. This goes back a long time. I didn't know that. Interesting. Not interesting. I mean, it's bad, but
it was just really strange saying things and way too interested in talking to a 17-year-old or 16-year-old, I guess, at some point. I did try to leave, and he pinned me against the refrigerator in the trailer with his foot in my crotch. Busfield denied the allegations and filed a countersuit against the girls' lawyers, accusing them of defamation. The actor eventually settled the lawsuit for an undisclosed amount. In 1996, a judge ordered the actor to pay $150,000 to the Minneapolis law firm that had represented the accuser following the loss of his defamation suit. So in 2012, he had another sexual assault allegation. A 28-year-old woman accused Busfield of groping her while the two were on a date attending a film at the Los Angeles area movie theater. But the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office declined to file charges against him, citing insufficient evidence. Yeah, and Busfield said that the contact was consensual. Yeah. Now we come to 2026. On January of 2026, American media reported that a warrant had been issued in New Mexico for Busfield's arrest. He was accused of sexually assaulting twin boys on the set of during the filming of the TV series The Cleaning Lady. The boys' parents said the abuse occurred from November of 2022 to early 2024. Busfield faces 2 counts of sexual abuse involving a minor and 1 count of child abuse. An arrest warrant was issued by the Albuquerque Police Department. The investigation against Busfield reportedly began after the alleged abuse was first reported by a University of New Mexico doctor in November of 2024. He's describing them as trumped up charges. After the news, the alleged sexual abuse came out, NBC decided not to broadcast a Law and Order Special Victims episode in which he plays a judge. He's also being edited out of a movie called You Deserve Each Other.
Wow. Yeah.
So then we have January. After the news of Busfield's abuse charges were made public, a man reported to law enforcement on January 14th, 2026, that years earlier Busfield had abused his then 16-year-old daughter, having kissed her and put his hands down her pants and touched her privates during an audition. In March of 2026, American actress Claudia Christian alleged Busfield sexually assaulted her while the two were filming Strays in 1991, at which point she was 26. Christian said that while the two were rehearsing lines in his trailer, Busfield grabbed her, threw her against the wall, and started kissing her, adding, "He had an erection and he shoved his tongue in my mouth and she pushed him off and ran out of the trailer." She reported the incident to an assistant director and her husband, but did not go to law enforcement at the time. She filed a police report in March of 2026, which was subsequently obtained by the Daily Mirror. Another one in March after the first March.
A great guy.
2026 allegations, same month. A now adult woman reported to police that when she was a 16-year-old intern at the B Street Theater in 1996, Busfield sexually assaulted her. She said he grabbed me in between the legs and pulled me down from the ladder and turned me around and stuck his tongue down my throat and touched me all over aggressively.
A theme going on here, like hitting people against walls, like like there's definitely a common denominator going on here with his techniques, if you will.
And so we've got a third one in March here.
Oh my God, dude! What the?
A third woman went to police in March of 2026 saying while she was working as a personal assistant for Busfield and his wife his wife, by the way, is Melissa Gilbert, who played Laura Ingalls Wilder on Little House on the Prairie. He was working for Busfield and his wife she was working from 2017 to 2019. Busfield made inappropriate comments, was manipulative, and she didn't feel safe being alone with him. She further said he touched her on her thighs while she was in a car, which made her very uncomfortable. The incident happened while she was aged 22. So then there's in March, another one. Okay. In March 2026, a woman went to law enforcement reporting that while she was shopping for books for her children, she encountered Busfield, who began saying graphic things to her. She said he then followed her from that store to her car, then to another business while trying to finish the conversation. She said it was very bizarre. It was very disturbing. It was extremely aggressive, and it was totally uninvited on my part. I didn't understand why he just suddenly went there. I tried to just say, okay, I'll talk to you later. I have to go. It was relentless, and I rolled up my window.
That's wild, man.
So that's all of the things with him. Yeah, that according to Wikipedia so far.
Wow. So that's the character who was abusive and then tried to lure Luke Davenport to the mall. And so this movie is one of those weird 90s movies where it's funny, but then it gets really, really serious at one point where it's just like, whoa. Like the end scene is like, looks like it came from like a different genre of film, basically.
Exactly. It's like all of a sudden it's like an action film or something at the end, or like a thriller.
Like the rest of the movies, like it's all like, Sinbad being Sinbad, doing his thing where he's diffusing situations with his humor, striking up an actual friendship with Luke. Luke literally has no friend. That's the other thing too about that shit. So these people ruin like genuine like friendships between like not really friendships, but like camaraderie between like adults. Like, cause like, it's like if you're like 16 or 14, whatever, and like you look up to like an adult or whatever, like it shouldn't automatically be like, ooh, that's creepy or whatever. But like these people make it like that. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, so like you can't even have that kind of like relationship anymore. Like if you're a kid, you can't like, cause people are going to be like, oh, watch out for that person. Then but then the other person's going to be like, oh, well, what are you doing? You know, so it's like now that's ruined. Like,
I remember when like Beverly Hills 90210 or Dawson's Creek and shows like that were out, and people were kind of critical, being like, man, those don't really look like teenagers per se, because they were, you know, actors in their early 20s or whatever playing teenagers. I think it might be better if we just continue to do that, where we have people in their 20s playing teenagers. Yeah. And I'm not saying that they can't be sexually assaulted, because they can be, obviously, from the stuff we just read about Timothy Busfield, you know, attacking women in their 20s. But it's at least they're adults, and they have and a lot of times I think child actors are pushed into it by their parents too. Like if if you have a chance and read Jeanette McCurdy's book, I'm Glad My Mom Died.
Yeah.
Which is a great book. It shows you how a mother can push their kid into like unhealthy job, basically.
Right. Like I'm like of two minds to that though too, because like I do think if like someone really wants to be an actor, but at the same time it's like you gotta weigh the pros and cons though on this thing, where it's like the industry is so horrible when it comes to children acting. Like, so is it worth it to like let someone have like a leg up on their dream, but then at the same time they might be victimized by, you know, someone.
And if a kid really wants to do that, and you have the right protection on a set, which is a lot better now than it used to be,
right?
Where you have advocates for the kid, like teachers on sets and different things like that, and parents sometimes, you know, if the parents, I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I directed a movie. It's like real low budget or whatever, but it starred a kid, and their mother was on the set the whole time.
Yeah,
and their mother's a friend of mine, so I was fine with it. You know, it's not like a big deal there. Right. Where I mean, I felt like they were protected and everything. So
yeah,
it's if it weren't for that fact, I wouldn't have wanted to do a movie featuring that child. You know.
Right. Yep.
So long ago now, I think that child's an adult.
Right.
And yeah, but I won't go into anything else there. Anyway, so the
So first kid, everyone. We just like spent the whole thing talking about
the basic plot of this movie.
I mean, there's really not much to it. I mean, obviously, it's just him, you know, Luke kind of breaking out of his shell a little bit, making some friends. He meets this girl who kind of, you know, has a crush on him. He's got a crush on her. There's a little bit of tension because the future domestic violence guy wants to be her boyfriend. And so there's like, you know, at one point he gets into a fight with Luke. Luke basically hits him, but doesn't really do any damage. And then he gets beat up. And then, which, you know, again, Sinbad or Sim's allowed to happen when he's supposed to be his protector. So interesting on that part. So he teaches him how to box. He goes, that's how we actually learn that Sims used to be a rock boxer, because he took him to his old gym where he used to train. And so we have like, you know, we have our obligatory montage, Disney 90s movie montage of workout scenes and some kind of like techno music, not really techno, but like electronic music.
Kind of hip hop-ish sort of.
It was like the
dance hip hop sort of electronic.
The dance, like the Good Vibrations, that song, right? Is that the song they were playing? Which that's a really, I don't know the name of that song, but that was like a really big hit in the 90s. It was in so many movies. I really hope that the people made some money from royalties, but knowing the record industry, they probably got nothing from it, and all the money probably went to the record company. But like,
like which version of Good Vibrations? I can't remember, because Good Vibrations
was the dance version, like the sort of like electronic. Like,
yeah, I just wonder if that was a different, because there's
maybe not. I don't think
it might have been a different song, because Good Vibrations was a Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch song,
and I might be thinking of a different song than
that one. You know, Mark Wahlberg, and I'm pretty sure he's okay. You know, not
he's doing okay money-wise.
He's doing okay financially.
So there's like I actually looked. I just pulled up the soundtrack actually, which is amazing that they have this on YouTube. The soundtrack to first hit. So we got Daryl Black. We got it going on. That's the slow song. I think. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. Not sure. The Power. That's what it was. I got The Power. I think is.
Oh yeah.
Was hold on.
We've got that's You Babe is referenced. We got I Want to Take You Higher by Sly Stone. We got The Power, which
that's the gym montage.
Yeah, Your Sweetness.
She was amazing. I could literally go up and load up the soundtrack first.
I'm looking at IMDb. They have the list of the songs on IMDb as well. Yeah. Anyways,
so yeah, I mean, there's like shit like that going on. His parents are just entirely neglectful. Yeah, only when they want to punish, the workers that discipline, their kid after like doing nothing for the entire.
He sneaks them out wearing a wig and shit, and then like one time he sneaks out and goes to the birthday party of the girl he likes.
Because Luke blackmailed him. By the way, that's the reason why. So Luke blackmailed him by using the nice things that Sims did for him against him, so that he could continue to do nice things for him. I can say it's kind of foreshadowing his real life later on. The actor, it's like.
Do you want to get into Brock Pierce here?
Yeah, let's go. Apparently, we're not actually talking about the movie here, guys. We're just talking about the terrible people that were in it.
So, in brief, here from this article I read. Okay, so recently, new pages of the files of Jeffrey Epstein came out, and so Jeffrey Epstein and Brock Pierce exchanged emails for years. Pierce had a romantic relationship with someone described as Epstein's assistant. Pierce and Epstein appeared reliant on each other for building connections. That's the in brief part of this. But let's go back here.
Okay.
To what Brock did after he quit acting.
Okay.
So he retired from acting at 16. I'm going to emphasize the fact that he was 16.
So he pretty much right after this movie was probably the last movie he did. Yeah.
He did like a couple more after this, and that was it. As a minor, he became as a minor partner with Mark Collins Rector and Chad Shackley in establishing Digital Entertainment Network, which raised $88 million in venture capital. Den's goal was to deliver original episodic video content over the internet aimed at niche audiences. Den was among .com startups that focused on creation and delivery of original video content online in the late 90s. It was kind of it was a bit ahead of its time. It could have been the YouTube if it would have, been a little later, I think. Mm-hmm. The original, they wanted to deliver original video content in the late 90s before the wide adoption of broadband internet access. Pierce produced its first show, a pilot for gay teenagers called Chad's World. I have to emphasize the fact that, so the plot of Chad's World was about an underage gay kid who parents can't accept him, so he travels and moves in with a gay male couple. Yeah. Just a little foreshadowing to what really happened. Anyway, but anyways, as an 18-year-old, Pierce was making $250,000 a year and held 1% of the company's shares. Then was slated for a $75 million IPO in October of 1999, but the IPO was withdrawn in the wake of allegations of sexual assault against Collins Rector. All three executives subsequently resigned, layoffs in February 2000, while the new executive team, led by former Capitol Records president Gary Gersh and former Microsoft executive Craig Carpenter, attempted to relaunch in May 2000, then filed for bankruptcy and shut down in 2000. Okay, so a little bit more about this here. So the controversies behind Den. It became indicative of excess in the area of the dot-com bubble, with high pay for executives while not generating any revenue and very little traffic. In October of 1999, a young man from New Jersey, identified only as Jake W., filed a lawsuit alleging that Collins Rector had sexually molested him for 3 years, beginning in 1993, while he was 13 years old. And by the way, Collins Rector, I believe, wrote that Chad's World show.
Wow.
Well, he was actually, anyways. So, the lawsuit was filed just prior to Den's scheduling IPO, and leading to the resignations of the three guys. In July of 2000, Alex Burton, then an 18-year-old then actor, Mark Ryan, a second Den employee, and an unnamed third plaintiff who was 15 years old at the time filed suit against Collins, Rector, Shackley, and Pierce, alleging rape, assault, and death threats against all three of them, by the way, including Pierce.
Wow.
Attorney Jacob Arish-Shabazz, who represented the plaintiffs, indicates that the lawsuit was settled confidentially, but the three were reportedly awarded $2 million in a judgment and $1 million incurred interest. And anyways, that the controversy I listened. Okay, if you want to get more in depth in this, there's a series about Jeffrey Epstein that Behind the Bastards, the podcast, does.
Oh, I love that podcast.
They go deep into this stuff, and they're Jeffrey Epstein episodes that came out recently. I don't know how recent it'll be when this episode comes out, but it was, I believe, in like February or March that the episodes came out of 2026.
Without ads, you gotta watch it on Netflix now because they got to deal with Netflix. Yeah. YouTube's got ads now. They didn't used to, but now you got, unless you're usually a guy or a person. I don't know why it's a guy, whatever. It's usually a person who is kind enough to give you the timestamps for the ads, so you can just click on the timestamp. but if you don't even want to do that, and you want video, because now they got an exclusive deal with Netflix again, which is kind of weird. I didn't know that Netflix has podcasts. Like they just started. Okay, all right.
The Bastards was one of the first ones to.
Okay, I gotcha. But anyway, I know there's a weird
kind of deal with iHeartMedia.
Okay.
Also, if you want to learn more about Den, look up the movie An Open Secret. It's about the sexual abuse there. There's other people involved in things, such as Bryan Singer was involved with things in Den, different things like that. Also, let's see here. There was also Gary, other people too. Let me see here. Gary Goddard was part of it. He directed the Masters of the Universe movie that came out a long time ago, and he was my Facebook friend until recently. I'm just going to let people know that out front until I found out he was.
Do that. I mean,
I know. I'm just letting people be completely aware that he friended me years ago on Facebook.
Not your fault. I mean, you don't
it's
know.
not my fault. I'm just being honest that I found out and I unfriended him immediately. But anyways, Brock went on to so he got into like internet gaming entertainment. He started, which was a company that pioneered currency selling in games. Basically, what they would do is they would do this thing where they would gold mine in games.
Right. Okay.
Where they would basically then sell things like, this is before microtransactions in video games. And
I hate those. Good.
But they basically paved the way for microtransactions because they started doing this ahead of time, where they basically had sweatshops of people in Asia who would pay money to buy things or get or go on the game and win things, and then they would sell them to other players.
Okay, I know that was a weird form of currency in video games for a while. So it's kind of weird if you think about it, but yeah.
And so basically at the time he IGE accounted for about 50% of the online market in the US for this thing. Mm-hmm. Which was about 500 million in annual volume.
Right.
So he needed some help in this area. And so at 14, Pierce said that what he wanted to do was get out of acting and become a film producer, which is the first sign that your kid's messed up. Anyway, so
wait, why?
I'm just saying, if you're 14 and you want to be a film producer in Hollywood,
producer, sorry, not direct. Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's usually that's what people will settle on later on. Exactly. That's not like your beginning role.
Go into it as a producer. Yeah. Not when you're 14. Like when somebody's 14, you're like, oh, I want to be an astronaut or I want to be an actor. And he was already an actor, and his idea was, I want to be a film producer.
Right, like there was this guy who, sorry, excuse me, where he had you probably know more about it than I do, the film stuff, but there was this dude who he went into Hollywood because he wanted to do acting or maybe directing or whatever, and to make money though, he ended up starting like a business, like a deli or something like that, and then the deli or restaurant whatever became so huge. And then, he basically made all this money because like all the people would go to like even like the stars or other, people. And so it's like, but like the thing is though, like his goal wasn't, oh, I'm going to set up a deli or a restaurant and then have all the celebrities come eat here. Like, you know what I mean? That wasn't like the intention. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what happened. Like, you get what I'm trying to say, right? Like,
yeah. What's that?
You get what I'm trying to say, right? Like,
yeah.
All right, cool.
It's never your goal necessarily, but Pierce needed, like somebody to come in and kind of handle things, like basically put an adult in the room because he was only in his 20s. And so he brought in former film and TV producer Steve Bannon.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Yeah. To seek a venture capital deal. Anyways, basically either he was pushed out by Bannon as the president of the company, or he says he agreed to do it. Like basically Bannon took over, and then things led to Bannon eventually leading the way to Gamergate. But anyways,
good old Gamergate.
Yeah. So basically Steve Bannon through his association with Pierce and this internet gaming entertainment realized that he could basically take these people. He turned the company into like an online board, like a message board thing for people. And he realized that these people were so mad at internet gaming entertainment because things didn't work out when it came to the whole gold mining thing on there. So he realized how angry these, white kids living in their houses could be, and how he could like basically, create an army based on that. So
it's like Ben Folds on the Suburbs or whatever it's called. Like man, like you don't know what it's like being white and middle class, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
but he basically, it ended up leading to the modern, crypto bro and shit like that. So anyways, he ends up going into he has like another company called Titan Gaming Placino, which is like a casino gaming sort of thing. Eventually he gets into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I'm kind of like speed running this here now, but he in the early 2000s, Pierce assisted Jeffrey Epstein to invest in various companies, and by the early 2010s, this was after Epstein was convicted of sex with a minor.
A lot of people became friends with them after this part two. Like it wasn't like, oh no, I didn't know, and then like no, like it was like public knowledge at that point. Like
he basically got Jeffrey interested in the whole Bitcoin shit. I'm kind of, like I've said, I'm speed running this. But he ended up he made tons of money. He started the company Tether.
Oh, okay.
Which is like a big crypto thing, like supposedly a stable coin or whatever. I don't know any of this shit, but
it's one of those stable coin.
It supposedly has money backing it up, like 50% of it is an actual.
Like, got like the token. Yeah.
But anyways, there are many emails if you look into the Epstein files between the two of them about Brock finding girls for Jeffrey. They're always referred to as girls, but I guess you could always technically say that that's what we're calling women.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that's probably how he's going to get away with all this shit. But supposedly Epstein procured girls for him as well. They Pierce and Epstein discussed women in a transactional manner across several emails, as well as their shared interest in crypto. In 2012, for example, Pierce was instructed by Epstein to take photos while traveling in Moscow, Kiev, and Odessa to find the financier present that year.
That's the big red flag right there. For some reason, a lot of the human sex trafficking is from Russia and Ukraine. I don't know if it's just happenstance. It just happened.
Well, a lot of it
there for some reason, but
a lot of the times is that they'll like promise them a better life in the United States.
True, but Ukraine was a decent economy as far as I know and stuff. And
well,
so
even if you're living in a country that's comparable to the United States, at the time, the United States was like, you see it on TV and it's supposed to be this magical place sort of thing.
Right.
Which it isn't. But
no.
So anyways, that year, Pierce also thanked Epstein for a great time with the girls. So basically, he told him that he would basically provided him with some girls, and then said, said they're great time, and then he said something like, I had a great time with the girls. I hope they did too. They also he kept referring to Pierce's girlfriend that I think he introduced him to as his little girlfriend, but there's no word on who she is or all this other stuff. But there's so many good articles and stuff about this. If you look into there's an article in Decrypt by Andrei Bagansky that goes deep into this. So
yeah,
look that up, folks, if you want to learn more. But anyways, needless to say, he's allegedly not a good guy. So yeah, anyways, back to the movie.
Yeah, the movie of truth.
Yes. So sorry, folks, if this is a little weird episode here. Just letting you know, but we get into deep things here sometimes on the show.
Because the movie is pretty straightforward, so we usually kind of bounce around a lot, but this movie's very linear. So
yeah, this movie is basically, a little plot.
Like, it's actually a good movie because it actually does have a narrative to it. A lot of the movies we watch are so badly done.
Of the movies we've watched recently, this is one of the better movies.
Right. So it's actually easier to talk about the bad movies than the halfway ones because it's actually like linear and actually has a narrative to it.
So hopefully we didn't get too into the weeds here, people, but I needed to talk about those things just because they're obvious.
Because there's so many people in the movie that are like important characters in the movie, like especially with Luke, and then the other dude, which she wasn't in the movie a whole lot, but he was still like a major character for it. And
it's just very weird that there's a movie with that many people that have had so many legal problems. I mean, it's not really unheard of, I guess, in Hollywood, but it's just so weird.
Yeah, but like.
Not to mention President Clinton of it all, too. But yeah, that's
probably because Bill Clinton does a cameo of himself. Yeah. And obviously he's, connected to the Epstein stuff or whatever. By the way, you notice how like Mike and I, we don't like rush to defend like liberal or progressive politicians whenever they're accused of something. We're just like, oh yeah, that sucks.
We're conservatives like Bill Clinton. But anyway, so
like we're not like, oh no, we must rush to defend and say that they're like the return of Jesus Christ or whatever, anything like that. So it's a little bit different. But like there's a few scenes I did want to talk about, like that were kind of funny, like where Sinbad is dressed up as the soda cup at the skating rink for girl's birthday party. I forgot her name.
He gets pushed around and stuff too by the bullies, which is funny there. Yeah, the girl's name is Katie.
That's right, Katie.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of good because Luke was like worried that like the bully was going to get the girl or whatever. So he's like, please God, give me a sign. Then that's when they threw Sims ruined her birthday cake. And so she was mad at whatever his name was because of that.
That Rob is the bully.
Rob,
yeah.
So that was like his sign from God, I guess. Because like being the president's son is so horrible that you need extra good shit happening to you. So then again, it wasn't really that good of a life for him. But so that was kind of funny. You got again the montage scene of them training boxing. So a lot of montage scenes. It was kind of hard to pin down like actual scenes. Again, it's just really hard to talk about because it's a good movie, so it's hard to talk about. Like,
I will say a weird thing is every time I pray to God, Sinbad ends up falling into a cake. It's a weird thing that happens.
it's a weird thing that happens, right?
Yeah, like I'll ask God for something also. Like, can you help me? I'm not feeling well.
And then
Sinbad falls into a cake. It's just a weird thing that happens.
Yeah, he's falling in the cakes all the time, man. He's just like doing whatever at home, and suddenly he just falls right into a cake.
Yeah, all these people, and so the moral of the story is you just got to stop praying.
Stop praying.
Wait.
Stop praying to God because Sinbad's going to keep falling in the cakes each time. You don't want to do that, do you? I mean,
you don't Sinbad to fall into a cake.
I mean, come on, he's already got enough problems going on. You don't want to add that to the mix, Maybe if it's Boston cream pie, maybe, because that's a good.
Especially when he's nowhere near a cake, he just falls into him somehow.
He disappears and then he falls into a lot of spoiled ingredients there, just wasting of our.
There are people starving in this world that would love a cake.
They would love a cake.
Yeah,
they'd love a glass of milk.
Yeah, let them eat cake.
Well, that didn't go over too well. By the way, that was actually falsely attributed to her. She didn't actually say that, but that's still what spurned on the revolution because people thought that she said that. So I guess the moral of the story is that it's okay to lie about what our evil politicians are doing so that it spurs people on to do revolution. Wait, no, that's not a good idea. We should just lie, So I worked with the French kind of for like 2 years before the revolution was then taken over by.
Watching Sinbad fall into a cake should start a new revolution. A revolution for better Disney movies.
Better Disney movies. Let's bring back 90s style Disney movies that are like an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
There's not like a huge, not like a profound story to it that's meant to touch your soul. Like just something that's light, that's funny, that's witty.
I mean, a lot of those movies fell to like the Disney Channel movies, which I think, there's a lot of probably still good Disney Channel movies that they're making. I don't know. I don't watch Disney Channel.
I didn't even know it's still on. I didn't even know that. Yeah, they even have the Disney Channel anymore. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was still a thing. All right.
Yeah, I think it is. I don't get it, so I don't know. But yeah, I think they're still making list of Disney Channel original films. Let's see what the latest ones that they made are.
I mean, I know that we did.
A lot of them seem to be like zombies and Descendants movies, unfortunately, like sequels and stuff to other movies. But they did have a movie, I remember it was like 2021. I saw this and it looked kind of good. It was called Christmas Again, which was like kind of a Groundhog Day thing with this girl that keeps repeating Christmas Day.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that was 2021. So yeah. But now it seems like they're just doing sequels. So, but yeah, they're still doing decent ones, but not enough.
Right. Yeah.
Christmas Again looks like a fun one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any other scenes that stick out to you? Oh, I do think I want to mention too the fact that I think like sort of they set up a little kind of love story there in the movie for Sinbad and the teacher. So,
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of she doesn't like him at first and then starts to like him, like you do in a movie.
Because he calls her class boring because it's science.
Yeah.
Oh, science is boring. Isn't it like really? I mean, science is actually kind of cool. I mean, like, I don't understand it that much because my brain doesn't comprehend like science stuff that much, but I still like it. I'm still interested.
Yeah. But that's okay.
It's all right. It's hard to talk about
a good movie.
It is.
It's sad that this movie is sullied by the people in it, but it's a really cute Disney movie from the time. I mean, for lack of a better phrase, I enjoyed it. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 5 Mickey Mouses, that Mickey is.
Mouses,
yeah. I'd give it like a 3.5 Mickeys. It's good. Solid. Yeah.
I think that's decent. I would give it probably around the same.
Yeah, I like it better than Blank Check. But Blank Check.
Yeah, that was one that did not hold up at all for me. That was something that I know I used to watch that stuff religiously as a kid, and I remember almost nothing from it.
And hopefully, hopefully we made some other Disney movies to cover this month that we can, when we release this for fans. Yeah. And in the future too, if you know of any good Disney movies, let us know, or good movies in general. Because sometimes it's good to cover good movies, but it's also really fun to cover bad movies.
It's so much. Exactly.
For every one of these, there's a Jingle All the Way 2.
Or 3 or 4 or 5 or The Wicker Tree, which is a standalone sequel to The Wicker Man, which I was talking to Mike about earlier before we started recording, which really pissed me off because I like Wicker Man's like one of my most favorite movies of all time. And I haven't watched it in years because I watched it too much and I just kind of got tired of it a little bit. So I watched it again the other night. I was like, oh yeah, I know why I like this movie so much. It's so good. I'm like, oh, here's The Wicker Tree. I remember hearing about that. I just never could see it for whatever reason. They couldn't rent it or wasn't available or whatever. So I'm like, all right, maybe I'll put this on. And I'm like, oh, this is actually quite horrible in every like every step of the way. This movie, they made every wrong decision. Like even from the get-go, where the woman's supposed to be like a really famous singer, they couldn't find an actress who actually knew how to sing. I'm like, why couldn't you either A, find an actress who's also good at singing, which is possible, or have the bad singing actress, no offense, but she wasn't that good, especially for what she was supposed to be in the movie. Now, if she was an amateur musician, that would be one thing.
Lip sync,
You
could have a lip sync somebody else singing.
That's what I'm saying. You could do that. And actually, at one point, they did do that, because at one point, it sounds like she's singing like opera, like really, really good. But then, so that must have been lip syncing on that part. But then they go back to her thinking something like, all right, so obviously you found a way anyway, whatever.
Well, anyways, in October, maybe we'll cover that.
We might do The Wicker Tree. I don't know. But
let us know if you want us to cover that.
There you go.
You can contact us. Go to our website, all2real2.com. There's a way to contact us there, or at mike@cullenpark.com. And let us know. Or if that or any movies. Also, if you join our Patreon, you can choose an episode for us to cover, like a movie for us to cover or a topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you want to hear us talk about some really bad movie or your favorite movie or TV episode that you really like, whatever it is, just let us know.
Mm-hmm.
TV episode you really hate, let us know. We'll even sit through an episode of Big Bang Theory if we have to.
Yeah.
Just let us know.
We'll do it.
Join the Patreon. Folks, if you want to punish us, you can find the worst thing ever and make us watch it. And also, if you give us a 5-star review wherever you're listening to this, that's a good way to help support the show. Go to all of our social media, follow us, all that good stuff. Share the show with your friends. Go to our TeePublic, buy some merch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've got a new shirt that I added recently in honor of the movie Sidekicks. Mm-hmm. It's a Frying Dragon Dojo shirt. You can get yourself one of those if you want. Maybe we'll add something First Kid related. Maybe not. Probably not. But just go ahead and check it. We're adding new things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, just remember, crypto bros suck.
Yep.
Free Palestine. Trans lives are human lives. No human is illegal. Fuck ICE. Just remember that I love you. Don't do anything stupid.
Mm-mm.
Just be different. Be yourself.
Yeah.
And remember that Sesame loves you.
I do.
And until next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.